Good afternoon, or good morning, wherever you are. I thought it would amuse you to see the snow has settled in England. Might look pretty, but I assure you it's bloody cold. And for those of you out there saying, ooh, I wish we were in the snow, well, I wish I could swap places. Anyway, it's good to talk again. Here I am in England. We're holding our breath, waiting to see what the government says about the new quarantine rules on Tuesday. As I'm sure you know, they're thinking about putting a hotel quarantine system in place for incoming arrivals. I hope, sincerely, that it'll be just for hotspot areas rather than for everyone, because clearly, firstly, that'll be very difficult for people like me who do need to travel for business, and I think it'll be actually horrific for the British economy. But let's see. As we've known throughout this pandemic, all we really can do is adapt to the changing situation. So we'll wait till Tuesday and see what actually happens. Anyway, I wanted to give you an update on what's happening in the group and some new, quite exciting announcements, I think. But first off, if we look over the group, if we start with Australia, where I'm very jealous. I know it's good weather down there and you're sitting on the beach having a few tinnies. But Australia, Rottnest is doing great. People are loving to go there, and the resort is open, of course, and is doing very well. I was very hopeful a week or so ago when I heard that Qantas were beginning to take international bookings from July the 1st. And our hope is very much that by that time, the vaccine will have been rolled out and Australians will be able to travel again, so they can come to our resorts and also I can go back to Australia again. I know there has been some discussion from the scientific and the medical world that maybe it'll take longer than that. But again, I'm pretty confident that July the 1st will see a change and that Australians will be able to travel. And as I'll say in a moment, we're planning on having our resorts ready for you from Australia if you can come after that time. Moving over to Indonesia, as you know, Indonesia has a very strict ban at the moment on foreigners coming in, whether it be for business or for pleasure. Our resorts are doing well there with Indonesian clients. I'm delighted to say that our newest resort, Karma Salak, which is just outside Jakarta, is open and is doing extremely well and is very, very popular with our Indonesian clients, particularly those obviously from the Jakarta area. We're currently looking at another property near Surabaya. As I've said in my past conversations with you, our plans are to open up quite a few resorts in Indonesia because in the short term, I see a demand from the domestic tourism market, from people that can't leave Indonesia, but they can go to our new destinations. And in the long term, I think these are fantastic locations for you and I and other people from around the world to go and visit and holiday and have great experiences. So that's very encouraging. And I think that we can see some great opportunities in the Indonesian marketplace. India, as we know, is doing incredibly robustly. Our resorts are pretty full. Clients are very happy. There are restrictions, but generally India, from a commercial point of view, is going about its business. And we anticipate all our resorts to be open in the not too distant future. So again, very pleased with the Indian domestic market. It's frustrating, it can't open up internationally, but these things will come. We said at the beginning of the pandemic, and we said repeatedly, we anticipate that this few months will be pretty much rough, as it has been for some time. We're beginning to see openings after Easter as the vaccines take hold. And I'm still confident that from July onwards, there'll be much more international travel. Obviously, there are new mutations. Unfortunately, here in the United Kingdom, we seem to have spawned one particularly nasty mutation. But I think most scientists expected that, and I don't think it's necessarily a surprise that the vaccine mutates. We need to keep on course with vaccination, keep on course with, where necessary, lockdowns. And I think those two things will mean that life will get back to certainly a new normal, if not normal. Here in Europe, most of Europe is locked down. Most of the continent is all locked down to all intents and purposes, as it is here in the United Kingdom. As you know, we now own Salford Hall. Renovations are occurring there. We're just doing some historical research on it, and we found out some amazing facts. It did once belong to Henry VIII. Before him, we believe it actually was one of the first sort of hotels in the United Kingdom. It belonged to the monastery in Evesham Abbey, and it was used as a place where the monks could go essentially and have a rest. It's about 5 miles from Evesham. So we're trying to piece this story together. We believe it was used as a place where once a year or once every 6 months, if you're a good monk, you could go and spend a week in this lodge, which would be fantastic for us to have acquired, one of the oldest hotels in Britain. But Salford Hall is looking great. You're going to love it. I think everyone's going to really enjoy that location, and we're doing it up, and we're putting a library in. We're interior decorating at the moment. We're focusing on a very good wine list. You won't be surprised to hear that I'm taking a personal interest in designing the wine list. So that's on track. We have also another resort in England, which we are hoping to sign literally in the next few days. I was hoping to do it today, actually, so I could tell you about it, but maybe my next speech. But it's another manor house in England, which is in an attractive location, and again will appeal in the short term to the domestic market here in the United Kingdom, and the long term to international tourists. So watch that space. Another one that I can actually announce, sort of announce, I'll get shot if I announce it too much, but we are very close to announcing a new resort in Laos. We've got a fantastic location on the Mekong River near Luang Prabang. I'll tell you more about it again when we speak again, but again, you're going to love it. I fell in love with Laos, or Lao, I'm not entirely sure how to pronounce it, but it's a beautiful location. And once we can all travel again, I think we're going to love having a beer, sitting by the Mekong with the jungle around us and wild elephants and all sorts of stuff happening. So let's look forward to that. In general, our plan is to try and get all or as many as possible resorts open in July. We are, of course, entirely dependent on governments and lockdowns and flight schedules. But internally, we're saying we will be ready to go in all resorts, whether it be in Thailand, whether it be in Crete, whether it be in Bali, from July the 1st onwards. And I know many of you are making bookings and making holiday plans. And obviously everything is subject to change, which we've come to learn very much in the last year. But that's our goal, to be ready to go July the 1st onwards and have a magnificent summer. We all deserve it, I believe. I wanted to tell you about a couple more products that I think you're going to enjoy. One is one we've branded Karma Casa. Now, Karma Casa, excuse the confusion. We originally were using Karma Casa as the name for essentially our social club membership, which we are launching. That will now be called Karma Club. Karma Casa as a name suits this new program much better. What we've done is really taken a leaf out of Airbnb's book, to be honest. And we've created a computer software program whereby owners, members, can put on it inventory that they would like to rent out. Their own inventory, not Karma inventory, but their own. So this might be their house because they're going on a holiday. It might be a second home. It might be a caravan they have. It might be a boat. Any sort of accommodation that they have, they can log on to this software program, and any other Karma member can access that inventory, that accommodation. We see great potential in this because we think a lot of our owners do have second homes, or they are going on holiday, so therefore they might like to get some revenue by renting that space. We also think a lot of our clients, particularly with domestic tourism, would like more options to holiday close to where they live or in the cities or locations not served by our resorts. So you're going to hear more about it the next few days. We've been designing it for a few weeks. And I think it's one of those programs that's come out of a demand for more inventory at this point in time. But I think that'll probably last for a long time. Getting a bit cold, excuse me. That will last for a long time going forward. So it'll be hitting your electronic mailbox in the next few days. We're going to be running some tests on it. We're going to be inviting some of you to be guinea pigs, in a good sense of the word, and help us get any bugs out of the system. But I'm excited about that. The other new program we're doing is I'm launching a program called the Karma Travel Concierge. Essentially what we're going to do is start a travel service to enable clients to not only book flights and insurance or car hires or whatever, but also other hotels, to book restaurants, to book experiences. And the plan is to develop some dedicated professionals who will be fully up to speed with all our areas and areas that clients frequently go to, and to provide a bit of a one-stop shop. And so they'll contact you or you can contact them. They can help arrange your flights. They can recommend the best restaurants in the area. They can get you VIP bookings. They can get you into tourist attractions on special occasions or money can't buy experiences or what have you. And the reality is at the moment that the travel world is pretty decimated, and there are some extremely good people out there who've worked in the travel business that we intend to bring into the Karma world to provide, I think, an extra service for you, which will be very valuable. And I think, again, it'll be something which will be with us for a long, long time and will be an extra benefit for being a Karma member or part of our family. And it'll also do our internal travel as well, to be candid. And I'm sure you can imagine the amount we rack up on flying and traveling as a company over each year. So again, expect to see more on that. That's something I've been personally involved in, and we will, so you can kick me if you think it's rubbish or a terrible idea. Don't blame anyone else. And expect to see more information on that in the quite near future. So, I'm very much a glass half full person, as you know. It's sometimes difficult to be so full when faced with the horrific statistics in England and the thought of long lockdowns. But I do believe everything is moving forward. I think the vaccines are a gift from God, and the fact there are so many. And I do think they're proving to be effective. I do believe that it's going to be a rough few months, and I believe after that we're going to see actually a roaring 20s. I think there's going to be, within hospitality, quite a boom. I think there's a lot of people that have been cooped up that are desperate to go on holiday and travel. And we're seeing it. When a resort is open, when people can get to us, or a restaurant is open, they are coming in droves. And they're wanting to enjoy a better bottle of wine than they would normally, because they think, what the hell, I've been waiting for this for so long. And I think in general, across hospitality, as doors open, people are going to travel and they're going to enjoy themselves. And that's why I'm buying so many resorts, because I see a boom time ahead. I slightly worry about the hangover after the boom time, but just as in the roaring 20s, when governments have to ask people to pay back the money and things occur which aren't necessarily positive, but who knows? That's I think we live day to day at the moment, so I'm looking forward to the roaring 20s which are going to come out of this. And I think things, just as they changed very quickly going into this, I think change will move pretty swiftly as we come out of it. Anyway, let's now move on to the important thing, which is the wine. I mean, I should really be having something warm, I guess, because it is freezing. But I'm drinking something again, which I picked up at the supermarket, bizarrely. But again, is reminding me of sunny climes. It's a sherry, again. Getting pretty addicted to sherry these days. It's a Manzanilla Pasada. Now, I think you've heard me speak of Manzanilla before. Manzanilla is the very dry sherry that comes from Sanlúcar, which is quite near to Jerez. A Manzanilla Pasada is very hard to get, and it's hard to get in Spain. So I was quite amazed they had it at Waitrose on the wine rack, but at a reasonable price, about £17 a bottle. But Manzanilla Pasada is very special because when you make sherry, you actually make it by allowing some air in, and the air creates a yeast, a flaw, which is a yeast which sits on the top of the wine whilst you're making it, that creates a cap, which means underneath the wine matures, actually with a bit of oxygen in it and with this cap on the top. And it's only really sherry that you make like that. There's a few other wines, but primarily it's sherry. And normally what you do is you drink it quite young. Well, with a Manzanilla Pasada, they age it for about 7 years with this flaw, this cap on the top. And they only make it in very small numbers. So it's dry and it has a very distinctive taste. I love it. It's a bit like Marmite or Vegemite. I think you either love it or you hate it. But it's chilled, so it's probably the wrong drink today, but I guess I can drink it and I can think of sunny days in Andalusia. Cheers. Actually, before I cheers, I should also say I brought out a friend of mine to say hello. Kevin the Kangaroo. Happy Australia Day. Stay safe, stay healthy, stay hydrated. Have a good Australia Day. Don't worry about me too much being here in the snow when you're enjoying yourself having beers. Cheers. Bye now.